Hey everybody, welcome to the new semester. This is just a quick follow-up video for some regular housekeeping things and stuff you need to be mindful of throughout the semester. Some of you I've had in the class before, and you'll be somewhat aware of my particular process here. But for those that have not had me, I want to sort of clarify everything. So the way that I like to run these classes is to offer you as much content that you would need for this class at one time, which is easier said than done. But nevertheless, that's sort of the goal. Offer you as much content up front, and then you have the period of the semester to work through it. There is some structure to the course outside of that. But really, the first place you need to start is with the syllabus. Please read the syllabus because there is a quiz on it. There's a 5-point quiz on the syllabus that I'll need you to take. Some of the things that I really want you to pay attention to in the syllabus are related to the books that are required for this course, the supplemental reading that you may check out, but is not required, of course. And just to try to get as much of an understanding of the syllabus as much as you can, because it's important for the quiz. Start with the syllabus, and then you can move down into learning more about me, which I will cover in a separate video. So you can read my bio, learn about my background in teaching, in design, in practice, and about me as a person, where I live, etc. But I'll cover that in a separate video. The next thing you need to look at is the student survey. So the student survey is required for this course. Essentially, what that is about is you click on the link, it takes you to a SurveyMonkey form where you fill out your information, and myself and the other design professors will use that information to learn more about your interest in the design program, your interest in design and practice and careers. And this is really meant to be an informational guide for us. So please fill out that student survey. You've got the whole semester to do that, but I would recommend just getting it right out of the way. After you do the student survey, please click on the Join Slack link. The Slack channel is it's a program that allows for instant messaging between myself and your peers. So this is really intended to be a community-driven platform where we can share resources, we can critique work in progress, or if you need to message me and you don't want to use Blackboard, then you can use Slack. 10 times out of 10, you will get a much quicker response if you message me on Slack or via email. But please join Slack. It is an important tool that you will use in this class, hopefully even more afterward, but then also in professional practice, you will be using it a lot, as it is a way for teams to communicate with each other very quickly. So outside of that, you also have a discussion board. Please introduce yourself on the discussion board, share. There's actually a few prompts there that you can respond to. I'm interested in learning more about you, who you are, what kind of work that you want to produce, and what your expectations are out of this class. And again, there's a quiz. So those are some of the basic things that I'm looking to cover this week. I will be posting lectures, recorded lectures, every Wednesday, ideally in the afternoon and evenings. I will post a recorded lecture for your consumption. This week, I'm going to touch on the course, a little bit about me, and CRAP. C-R-A-P. It's an acronym, everybody. Contrast, repetition, alignment, placement. These are some of the core fundamentals of page layout. And in that lecture, which can be well over an hour, I'll show you a variety of examples, and I'll basically just discuss everything that I know about page layout. So this week, the lecture topic will be released on Wednesday evening. It will be about the course intro, about me, and contrast, repetition, alignment, and placement. Generally, also throughout the week, you'll get an exercise. The exercises range in difficulty, but generally they're pretty light, they're pretty easy, and they don't take a lot of time. But there are a lot of them throughout the course. There's about 6 of these exercises that you'll need to do throughout the semester, and they equate to well over 3 projects. So if there are 6 exercises at 10 points each, and there are 5 projects at 20 points each, you can do the math there and understand how important they are. So every week you will get an exercise and there will be a quiz. Quizzes are generally going to be released on Monday or Tuesday. Lectures, again, on Wednesday, and exercises will also generally be released on Wednesdays. In some cases, the exercises, they'll almost always be due at 11:59 of the Sunday of whatever week that we're in. But I do need you to pay attention to those deadlines because they will change depending on the complexity of the exercise. But again, the exercises are pretty easy, so they shouldn't pose much difficulty for you. So every week you'll get an exercise, a pre-recorded lecture, and a quiz. And depending on what the results are of the live group discussion survey, there will also be one of those every week as well. That, however, is not required. It is not mandatory to attend. So we'll see what the survey yields, and I'll report back to you accordingly. This class will also have 5 major projects. It's going to be a long semester, but these projects are extremely important, not just for your development, but also for the portfolio, okay? The first project is going to be designing your resume in Adobe InDesign. The second project is a magazine layout double page spread. The third project is a bifold menu, which is just a folding piece, right? Take a piece of paper, fold it in half. That's basically it. So you'll do a bifold front and back. Project 4 will actually be a book cover redesign. And one of the things that I really like about this project, and I've done this many, many times in the past, is that I want you to go to your local library. And if you don't have one, get a library card. And 2, I want you to take out a book that has a really awful cover, and we're going to redesign it. And we'll also make an ebook version out of that. And then project 5 is the final, and I'm not going to tell you what that is, but it will absolutely be, the most complex project of this semester. So you have 5 projects, 6 exercises. There will be a quiz every week. There will be a lecture every week. There will be a live group discussion every week starting next week. And that's a lot of activity. You've also got discussion boards weekly that you will need to participate in. The discussion boards, however, have a very particular focus. There are 2 foci in this case. The first of which is the discussion boards are used for critiquing your work as well as others. When you're in a project, there will be an in-progress critique and there will be a final critique. Generally, the in-progress crit takes place the first week that you're given a project. So for example, September 6th through September 12th, the discussion board will be an in-progress critique, and September 13th through the 19th will be the final critique. The other foci or focal point is I want you to learn about some of the designers that I really love. The best way to learn about design, especially page layout, is to look at people that are doing it extremely well. So check out the following names: David Carson, Catherine McCoy. I forget the gentleman's name, but he makes band posters under the name Small Stakes. Neville Brody, Chip Kidd, Milton Glaser, and Paula Scher. These are some of the icons in graphic design, especially contemporary graphic design. And it's important you know who they are and how their work transforms design and page layout. So those discussion boards will basically ask you to find one of their works and critique it. And then some of the other students in the class will have to respond to those critiques. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. The best way to become a better designer is to look at good design and learn about and, learn about good designers and consume all of their work. Fortunately, there's a lot of YouTube content out there on a lot of these folks. In particular, Paula Scher, there's a fair amount of content. So I will make that available to you when it's time to make those available. Okay. One thing I do want to emphasize here is that I'm trying to balance out the designers I'm introducing to you. So half men, half women. I would really like to be able to make that even more diverse and introduce, designers of different cultures, races, ethnicities, gender types, or no gender types, etc. So if you find any designers out there that inspire you, please share them with me, and I will happily put them through onto the discussion board. Okay, so let's recap. Every week, there will be a lecture released every Wednesday evening. Every week, there will be a quiz. Every week, there will be a discussion board. Okay. Every week, there will be a live group discussion, not mandatory. There are 6 exercises. There are 5 projects. The total amount of points in this course is 310 points. Excuse me. Allergies, 310 points. However, I am going to offer extra credit that could, hypothetically, if you do well on it, give you another 20 points. That could replace an entire project if you fail a project, or it could augment a grade if you've done everything in the class. So the total potential points are 330 points. Now, I will tell you that on the exercises, I'll probably grade fairly light. The quizzes will only have 1 attempt each, so you need to do really well on those. There are 75 points total across all of the quizzes. So if you don't do well on the quizzes, then you're going to be in real trouble. Okay. So the exercises I grade a little bit lighter. The discussion boards I do check and grade accordingly to make sure you're participating and responding to at least 3 other people. The quizzes you only have 1 attempt at. And the projects I will grade moderately. One thing you need to know is that I don't like grading projects with a lot of points, meaning if you have Helfrich for class, he probably grades on a 100-point scale. I do not. I grade on a 20-point scale, which means that your errors may cost you more grade-wise than out of 20 points than out of 100. Okay, so I am a little bit more harsh on the grading, but it's to emphasize the point that whatever you submit needs to be your absolute best. All right, and if I'm recognizing that, I will grade accordingly. Okay, so that's the overall structure of the class. I will make more information available to you when the time is appropriate. Otherwise, stay tuned for a lecture, a pre-recorded lecture tomorrow. I'll try to keep the recorded lectures under 2 hours. I know that is a lot of listening and a lot of watching. This first one, you could probably mostly listen to at least half of it. And then the latter half, I'll do a screen share and you'll be able to, you'll have to watch it. Lastly, please follow me on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube. I do, and on Twitter, of course. Those are the 3 platforms that I'm the most active on. And I post updates about this course and the other class I'm teaching at Point Park. So be on the lookout for that, and try not to confuse the Point Park stuff with what you need to do. Fortunately, that's a web class, so it's not apples to apples. Okay. Lastly, if you've ever have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., please don't hesitate to email me, hit me up on the Slack channel. find me on social media, message me on Blackboard, or even call or text. If you do need to call, text me first so I know who you are. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to a really great class, and I'm so glad to meet so many new faces and to have some former students back along for the ride. So enjoy your week. Have a good week with all the classes that you have to take, and please let me know of any issues. Take care. See ya.